You know me, I'm out here and I couldn't find a spot. It's sunset right now. I hope the camera is centered on me. I centered it with the horizon, but I don't have time to make this perfect because the sun's literally going down right now as I'm talking. The strangest thought occurred to me today. I had never thought about how my mindset has changed ever since I came into this profession and how it is now. When I first got into all of this and I picked my first camera up, that is the same exact model or a sister model of the one I'm using right now to film this. I didn't know that I'd be here right now. I didn't know that I'd be this good at it. I didn't know that I'd love it this much. I had no clue. I wouldn't take any of it back. However, there was some misconceptions and some things that I just really didn't understand at the time that I just wanted to throw out. I have a list of notes because I'm really bad at just remember everything in the back of my head. So the first thing I wanted to go over is the illusion of support systems. Now, that's a loaded statement and it's really hard to make it specific. So I'll try and bring it down and water it down a little bit so people can really understand what I'm saying when I say that. There's two types of people that jump into this type of industry. There's ones that are highly involved with nepotism, and there's people who start from the bottom and don't have anything, maybe buy their first camera with all they have at the time, and they grind their way up. Now, I'm not taking credit away from somebody who has a lot of skill and talent and is able to express that using whatever they have. But I will say is that people with a lot of wealth or family that has resources have something to fall back on and usually are able to get in the door with bigger and better pieces of equipment than people that aren't as well off financially. This gives the illusion that this person is doing far better and they're more competent in their job to people that don't do it and gets them in the door in a lot of places. Or should I say, it gives them a lot of opportunities with people that have money. Money attracts money, right? And if I knew that difficulty existed right off the bat, I probably would have moved a bit differently and met different opportunities with different amounts of energy because I was, for lack of a better word, ignorant and thought that basically the world was at my fingertips and I could, create a bunch of stuff for people that had money and work with brands and all this stuff. And the reality is, man, if you don't look like you got it, then you don't. And that's just how the world is. The same power we have where you're watching me right now, you're going to make your judgments immediately seeing and hearing me talking right here, and you're going to take it at face value even though you don't know me personally. That type of shit is how everyone else thinks. Now, we most definitely take advantage of that when we're shooting for YouTube or we're making ads for companies and stuff like that, but sometimes it works against you. And you probably heard this second point, gear doesn't equal talent. I can walk out here with a simple audio setup with camera, slap a lens on it, and I know exactly what to do with it. However, you have to know the limitations of everything you're working with, and that only comes from failure. So if you have the correct gear and the right gear and the best gear right off the bat, you're simply not going to know what to do with it. I didn't know what I didn't know until I had all of that, lost all of it, got it all back, and then realized that I was able to achieve the same level of quality with less because I knew more than when I had arguably bigger and better equipment maybe like 4 years ago. That goes into my next point. So a lot of social media that you see, I don't want to say it's fake because that's very vague. I will tell you that it isn't very honest. A lot of individuals who are the bigger and better creators on social media have a lot of time to work with because of where they come from. For my first point, if it's nepotism, if they just were more well off, if they had a lot of time, if they had a lot of resources, and momentum builds momentum, right? That creates a false expectation for people that are on the bottom. I would say like me, for lack of a better word, because I actually didn't start with anything. And people think that if they do the same things they're doing the way that they're doing it, that it will lead to the same level of opulence and lavishness that they see, like the expensive cars, the girls, the prime real estate, all this stuff. That's not how things are really going to pan out. I want to tell you personally, whoever's watching this, that you should fall in love with the craft itself. If you don't fall in love with the craft and you set that expectation, you're going to quit. I've seen a lot of people quit. I've told people to their face that they don't love doing this. And that's not an insult. It's you started because you saw what the end result leads to and you said, I want that. And that's great and everything, but it's a facade. There's no substance behind it. So let's roll it back to the beginning. What's going to keep you doing this forever if you enjoy doing it? I like calm, story-driven work. I like getting to know people. I like talking to people. I like real stuff. That is impossible to actually procure if you're one of those people who started off with everything and you're making the content, quotation mark, that is popular right now. It doesn't really speak to the soul. It's meant to sell. That's great. The purpose of a brand is to make money, but this world consists of stories and people attached to them. The more we drift away from that, the more isolated we end up being, and the more isolated we end up being, the more we crave connection. Eventually, everything is going to reset and hard turn towards whatever whatever this is that I'm doing. I've been seeing it on YouTube recently. I've been seeing it on certain pockets of the internet. People are getting tired of it. People don't like seeing a fake narrative that pushes you towards a fake destination. And even if you made it to that destination, you're still not going to be happy. The skill sets that you built along the way aren't going to help you express yourself. That's pretty much it. I think you should keep creating. I think anything you make is enough. I think any steps you take towards the direction that you think is right is probably a good one. And I support everybody that has a dream of their own, not somebody else's dream.